It all began on an ordinary afternoon when the single dad was sitting quietly on a park bench, lost in his own thoughts. Life had been heavy lately, and silence had become his only companion. That's when a tiny voice broke through the stillness. He looked up and saw a little girl, her eyes wide with innocence, holding a small, worn-out teddy bear. She stood there for a moment, nervous yet determined, and softly asked, "Sir, could you pretend to be my daddy just for one day?" Her words froze him. For a second, the world around him disappeared. That simple request, so pure yet so heartbreaking, struck straight to his soul. He didn't know her story, but he could feel her loneliness as if it were his own. Sometimes life doesn't prepare you for moments like this. It just hands you a reason to feel again. The little girl had always watched the world from a quiet corner. Every day at the park, she saw other children run into their father's arms, laughing, lifted high into the air, feeling safe. She would smile from afar, clutching her teddy bear tighter, pretending it was her turn next. Her mother often worked long hours and the house felt too empty for someone so young. Birthdays passed quietly, and bedtime stories were just whispers in her imagination. So when she saw the single dad sitting alone that day, something in her heart stirred, a silent hope that maybe, just maybe, she could feel what love from a father might be like, even if only for a day. Her request wasn't about toys or attention. It was about belonging. Sometimes the deepest wishes come not from greed, but from the simple longing to feel loved, even just once. The man looked at the little girl, and for a moment he couldn't speak. Her words had stirred something he'd buried long ago. He had once known the warmth of small hands wrapped around his fingers, the sound of laughter filling his home, the joy of being called Dad. But life had changed, painfully, unexpectedly. Losing his wife, and later growing distant from his own child, had left an emptiness he learned to hide behind quiet, smiles and long silences. When the little girl asked him to pretend, it wasn't just her loneliness he saw, it was his own reflection. It reminded him of everything he'd lost, and everything he still missed deeply. That single moment wasn't about pretending anymore. It was about remembering what it felt like to care, to protect, to love. Sometimes it takes a stranger's innocence to awaken a heart that had forgotten how to feel. The next morning, he decided to meet her at the same park, unsure of what the day would bring. She ran to him with a smile so pure that it instantly melted away his hesitation. Together, they spent the day doing the simplest things, sharing ice cream, chasing pigeons, laughing at nothing and talking about everything. He lifted her up to reach the swings, and for the first time in years, he felt the warmth of purpose again. The little girl held his hand tightly as if afraid the day might end too soon. And in her eyes, he didn't see a stranger's child. He saw hope, trust, and a piece of himself he thought was lost forever. What began as pretending slowly turned into something real, something beautiful. Sometimes a single day of love and laughter can heal wounds that years of silence never could. As the sun began to set, they sat quietly on the same park bench where it had all begun. The little girl leaned her head on his arm, whispering a soft, "Thank you." That one word carried more emotion than he could bear. He realized that the day hadn't just been about pretending. It was about two hearts finding comfort in each other's emptiness. What he had given her wasn't grand or extraordinary, yet to her it meant the world. And what she had unknowingly given him was far greater, aka reason to feel alive again. It was a reminder that kindness doesn't always need a name, and love doesn't always come from family. Sometimes it's the quiet moments, the gentle gestures, and the unexpected connections that bring the greatest healing. One act of compassion can truly touch a life, and sometimes it touches two at once. When the day finally ended, and it was time to say goodbye, the little girl turned to him with teary eyes and whispered, "You were the best daddy ever." He smiled, holding back his own tears, knowing that their paths might never cross again. Yet, something inside him had changed. That single day had reminded him that love doesn't always come from blood. It can bloom from understanding, kindness, and shared silence. He walked away lighter, realizing that sometimes we don't need a lifetime to make a difference in someone's world. All it takes is one moment of compassion, one day of love, one decision to care. Because in the end, it's not how long we stay in someone's life that matters. It's how deeply we touch their heart while we're there. And sometimes pretending to love becomes the most real thing we ever do.